Welcome, students. How are you all? I hope you are studying well at home. So, let us begin a new chapter of science. In this chapter, you will study about pollination. So, your chapter name is chapter number 4, that is pollination. So, let's begin today's work. In this chapter, you will study number 1, parts of a flower. Second, types of flowers. Third, pollination and its process. And fourth, agents of pollination. So let's begin. Let's warm up. Identify the name the flowers below. First one is a rose. Second is hibiscus. Third is lily. Fourth is lotus. Fifth is tulip. And last, number 6 is sunflower. So this is given on page 43. Now on page 44, you have some questions. Do you like flowers? Of course, everyone loves it. Which is your favorite color? It depends on you, okay? How do we use flowers? There are various uses, okay? They are ornamental to decorate house and various other things. In functions they are used, okay? They are used for medicines. They are used for various scents, perfumes, okay? So what is the function of flowers? They perform pollination and they help in forming seeds and fruits. So there are various functions present, and let's understand what they are. Flowers are very attractive. The most beautiful part of a plant. Different flowers are of different colors, shape, size and fragrance. Flowers may be present in single or in groups or on a stem. Flowers are the main reproductive part of a plant. Parts of a flower. A flower has many parts such as pedicel, receptacle, sepals, petals, stamens and carpels. Sepals, petals, stamens and carpels are the parts arranged in 4 whorls. As you can see here, you have 4 whorls. See in this picture, you have 4 whorls. The collective name for all the sepals is called calyx, and collective name for all the petals is called corolla. The collective name for all the stamens is androecium, and collective name for the carpel is gynoecium. Let's see what is the pedicel. Can you see the base of the flower in the picture? The stalk of a flower is called pedicel. The upper part of the pedicel is attached to the receptacle. Can you see in the picture the pedicel of this flower? In this, you can identify it easily. The pedicel is the base, okay? It's the stalk of the flower attached to this stem, okay? And then receptacle is the base of a flower. Then you have sepals. The outermost whorls or set or is composed of green leaf-like sepals which protect the inner structures. So this is the function of a sepal. The function is to protect the inner structure of a flower, okay? The sepals protect the inner structure of a flower. This is the function of a sepal. Sepal collectively known as calyx, okay? This we have discussed. Next we have petals. The inner whorl is composed of brightly colored petals. Being brightly colored, petals attract insects for pollination. Okay, that's why they are brightly colored, so that they can attract all kinds of insects for pollination. Petals are larger than sepals and are collectively known as corolla. Now we will discuss about stamens. This is the male part of a flower. Okay, this is the third whorl of a flower. They are called male reproductive part of a flower and are collectively known as androecium. Anther and filament are the two parts of this stamen. Okay, filament is a thread-like structure that supports anther, and anthers contain pollen grains. Okay, inside the anthers you can find the pollen grains inside the anther. Okay, inside the anther there are pollen grains. Then pollen grains have male gametes. Male gametes, the sperms present in them. Next, you have carpels in a flower. This is the fourth whorl, the centermost part in a flower. They are the called female part of a flower and are collectively called gynoecium. Carpel consists of three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. You can see in the picture, this is a carpel structure where the topmost part is stigma. Okay, so that all the pollens can stick to it. Okay, and then there is a neck-like structure, style, and then it is connected to the ovary, and inside the ovary there are ovules for the fertilization and seed formation of a fruit. Then there is ovary contains ovules, and ovary develops into a fruit, and ovules becomes seeds later on. Now here it is given, let's do some observation in a flower. If you have a hibiscus plant in your garden, you can see the structure, how it look like. Okay, open the flower with a needle and remove the petals. Identify stamen and carpel. Observe anther and filament. Cut the ovary horizontally with the help of a blade and observe very tiny ovules inside it. Okay, so these all things you can do at home if you have a garden, and in that garden you have a hibiscus plant. In that you should have that flower also. Then there are types of flowers. So there are various types of flowers. We have categorized them into two parts. One, incomplete flowers, and the other is incomplete flowers. The complete flowers contain all four whorls. Okay, that is calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. Okay, in hibiscus plant, hibiscus, that is also called China rose, in that you will see all four whorls. Okay, and incomplete flowers, only one or more whorls can be absent. Okay, so it is incomplete, that means four whorls are not present, maybe three whorls, two whorls, or even one. Okay, so flowers of sweet corn and squash plant are incomplete flowers. Even papaya, there are incomplete flowers. Okay, depending on the presence of male and female reproductive parts, flowers can be classified into unisexual and bisexual flowers. Okay, so these complete flowers and incomplete flowers can be classified as monosexual flowers or unisexual flowers, and they are bisexual flowers. So in this, what are the examples of monosexual flowers? Flowers of papaya, corn, and watermelon. These are the examples of unisexual flowers given. There are many others you can study. Then you have bisexual flowers. there are lily, hibiscus, mustard. Okay, so in this both male and female reproductive organ of a plant is present, okay, in the flower. Now here you have some true and false. Let's recall. Number 1, papaya flower is an example of unisexual flower. Okay, that's now we have studied that it is true. Okay, just above it is given. These are the example of monosexual or unisexual flower. Number 2, complete flower consists of all 4 words. Okay, yes, it is true. Number 3, stamen is called male reproductive part of a flower. Yes, it is also true, because collectively it is called androecium and singly it is called stamen. Okay, in the stamen you will find anther and filament. Okay, in the anther you will see pollen grains. Okay, this is what structure of a stamen. Number 4, receptacle is the stalk of the flower. Is it true? No, this is false, because the stalk of the flower is pedicel. Let's know more. Manual removal of stamen is called emasculation. Emasculation is the technique to remove stamens before they mature. It is done to prevent self-pollination in a flower. So it's a new technique in which to improve the quality of a plant. Okay, so whenever scientists prepare a better quality seed, they want a variety, hybrid variety of seed or fruit, they use this type of technique to prevent self-pollination. Okay, so that they can promote cross-pollination and in a better way. Then you have pollination and its process. Have you ever seen insects such as butterflies, bees and moths visiting flowers? What do? The insects visit flowers to collect their food, nectar, from the flowers. Also at the same time they help in pollination. The process of transfer of pollen grains from the anther to stigma in a flower is called pollination. Pollination is the process that enables reproduction in plants. So as you can see, there are 2 types of pollination. Number 1, self-pollination, and number 2, cross-pollination. Self-pollination, transfer of pollen grains from anther of a flower to the stigma of the same flower on the same plant is called self-pollination. Self-pollination is also called autogamy. This is a scientific name given, so you should learn it is autogamy. Okay, automatically it is being done in a same flower. This is an economical process and it is natural process, as agents of pollinations are not involved in this, because plant is having a flower which is bisexual and it is having female and male both reproductive part in a flower. Then you have cross-pollination, the transfer of pollen grains from anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower. It's plant of the same species is called cross-pollination. Cross-pollination is also called allogamy. This is the scientific name given to cross-pollination, that is allogamy. External agents such as wind, water and insects are needed for cross-pollination. Okay, so now we will study agents of pollination. So what is the definition of agents of pollination? The conditions or organisms involved in several ways for pollination to occur naturally. This is called agents of pollination. Okay, pollination by insect. When an insect visits a flower, the pollen grains get stuck to the body of the insect. Why? Because the pollens in these flowers are very sticky and they stick to the body of the honeybee or any other butterfly or any other hummingbird, okay, and then these pollens are transferred from one flower to another flower and cross pollination occurs. So this is the transference of pollen grains. Insect pollinated flowers show the following characteristics. Number one, flowers are brightly colored to attract. Okay, here it is given. Insects pollinated. Okay, let me show you. So insect pollinated, they attract, they are brightly colored. Flowers, number two, flowers produce scent that attract insects. Number three, some flowers produce nectar. Insects visit flowers to collect nectar. Okay, nectar is their food. Butterfly, honeybees, okay, they enjoy these kind of food. Then number four, pollen grains are sticky. As I told you, they are very sticky and they are very less in numbers. Hence, insects are required for cross pollination so that new flowers, new colorful flowers are born. Okay, example, dahlia, rose and sunflower, they are the examples of cross pollination done by insect. Okay, they attract these kind of insect. Next you have pollination by wind. Pollen grains in some cases are carried by wind, okay, because they have a different characteristics. So what are the characteristics in these flowers? Pollen grains are light, they are very light, okay, in weight they are very light, and they are dry and are produced in large numbers, so they need to be blown away with the wind. Okay, so they are made in such a way, they are built in such a way that they can be blown in the wind, and the stigma is large and feathery to catch the wind carried pollen grains. So stigma, okay, the stigma of the female flower, the female part of the flower, which attract, which stick all the pollen grains towards it. Okay, so examples are wheat, maize, palm and grasses. Okay, so that's why they are grown in large numbers. Wheat, maize, this is a daily food product for us. Pollination by water, this takes place in water plants called like Hydrilla and Vallisneria. As you can see in the picture, the male anther is releasing all the pollens, and these pollens are so light they float and they travel to the female flower, and then they form fertilization. So before fertilization, the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a flower is necessary. Thus, pollination is one of the important steps for reproduction before fertilization. Now, as you can see, there are some differences in insect pollinated and wind pollinated flowers. So we have already discussed these things. So let's recap once again. Number one, in insect pollinated flowers, large and brightly colored flowers are seen, and in wind pollinated, small and inconspicuous. Okay, inconspicuous means they are very dead dull, they are not bright, they are very ordinary flowers. Okay, no insect will attract towards it. Okay, then number two is nectar and scent is produced. Then number two in this wind pollinated is no nectar or scent is produced. So they are having odorless, okay, no odor, no beautiful smell from these wind pollinated flowers. Pollen grains are sticky in insect pollinated flowers, and pollen grains are dry in wind pollinated flowers. Pollen grains are produced in less in quantity in insect pollinated flowers, and pollen grains are produced in large number of quantity in wind pollinated flowers. Now there are the keywords, you can go through it. Okay, all the keywords, you learn it very seriously. pedicel, calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, stigma, anther, pollination, whorls. Okay, all these things you should learn. Let's work and have fun. Memorize and answer. Number 1 is correct the answers. Tick the correct answer. Choose the correct one. Okay, number 1, which of the following is not considered as a word of flower? That is B, receptacle. Okay, receptacle is the base of the flower, so it is not the whorl. Okay, calyx, corolla, gynoecium, androecium, they are the whorls of flower. Number 2, anther and filament are parts of stamen. Okay, they are the parts of stamen. Stamen is the having these two parts. Number 3, which of the following is not pollinated by wind? That is P. Okay, P is they are pollinated by insect. Okay, wheat, grass and maize, they are very common and they are not attractive, so they are having dry pollen and they can be blown with the pollination, can be done by wind. So the answer is B. Number 4, which of the following plants does have bisexual flowers? So that is mustard. Papaya, maize, watermelon, they are monosexual. Okay, they don't have male and female both. Okay, only mustard have both male and female part. Next you have fill in the blank with the correct word. Number 1, stigma, style and ovary are parts of a carpel. In wind pollinated flowers, pollen grains are light, dry and are produced in large numbers. Number 3, water, wind and insects are agents of pollination. Number 4, stamen consists of anther and filament. Number 5, a complete flower has all 4 whorls. Okay, these are the answers of fill in the blank. Let's do name the following. Male reproductive part of a flower is stamens. Flowers having both stamens and carpels. Complete or bisexual flowers. Number 3, middle neck portion of an ovary is style. Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a same flower is self-pollination or autogamy. Okay, let's do question answers. So first question is, what are the different parts of a flower? In that you will make this diagram. Okay, and then you will begin the answer as follows. The answer will be, a flower has many parts such as pedicel, receptacle, sepals, petals, stamens and carpels. The 4 whorls of flower are sepals, petals, stamens and carpels. Okay. Question number 2, what is pollination? Discuss self and cross pollination. The process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma in a flower is called pollination. Self-pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther of a flower to stigma of the same flower on the same plant, also called autogamy. Cross-pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther of one flower to the stigma of a flower of another plant of the same species, also called allogamy. So this is answer number 2. Question number 3. Write the difference between unisexual and bisexual flowers. It contains either male or female reproductive part of a flower in unisexual. Okay, this is also monosexual flowers. Okay, unisexual or monosexual. And in bisexual, it contains both male and female reproductive part of a flower. Then in monosexual, it is also termed as incomplete flowers, and in bisexual it is also termed as complete flowers. Examples of unisexual flowers are papaya, corn and watermelon, etc. example of bisexual: lily, hibiscus and mustard. Okay, so this is given answer number 3. Question number 4. What are the agents of pollination? How is insect pollination different from wind pollination? Answer is, the conditions or organisms involved in several ways for pollination to occur naturally are called agents of pollination. Insect pollination and wind pollination differ by the flower which having sticky pollen grains in insect pollination, okay, and are produced less in number, due to which insect pollination is required. And the flowers are brightly colored and produce scent to attract insect. So there is a difference in these kind of flowers. And in wind pollination, the flowers are having dry pollen grains and are produced in large numbers, due to which pollination is required in huge amount. So wind is the powerful source, and the flowers are small and inconspicuous. As I told you, meaning is having dull and less attractive flower. This is answer number 4. Give reason. Number 1, flowers and insects are beneficial to each other. How? They both are beneficial to each other because insects help in pollination for flowers in various ways. Number 2, wind pollinated flowers are small and light. These flowers are small and light because it helps the pollen grain to be distributed with the wind for pollination. Number 3, unisexual flowers undertake cross-pollination. They undertake cross-pollination because they are incomplete flowers. Either they have male gamete or female gamete on one plant. Okay, so these are the give reasons and you can do. Okay, now you have on page 49 in your book, identify and label various parts of a flower. In this you can see the answers are given. Number 1, you can see stigma on the left side, stigma, then style, then sepal, and last ovary. On the right side you can see petals, anther, filament and receptacle. Okay, then the question is draw diagrams of self and cross pollination. Okay, that diagram is, this is the diagram of self pollination and this is the diagram of cross pollination. Okay, you can draw in your copy. Now apply and analyze. Compare and circle the odd one out. In number 1, pedicel is not the part of a whorls. Okay, 4 whorls are there in a complete flower: calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Okay, so pedicel is the stalk. It's a stalk of the flower. Then number 2, stigma, anther, style, ovary. In this stigma, style, ovary, this is the part of female reproductive part of a flower. Okay, anther contain it comes in the male part. Okay, so this is odd. And number 3, anther, filament and stamen. Style is different. Okay, style comes in female part and anther, filament both comes as a stamen. Okay, stamen, it's anther and filament, it's a part of stamen. So this is complete. And then you have a picture of a butterfly, what it is doing. It is showing the picture of insect pollination. Okay, and the reason is why it is beautiful. Flower is beautiful because it wants to attract insect and help in pollination. Then you have some create and enjoy that you can do in your home.